Did we know we weren't going to succeed at Worlds? Oh, now I can finally talk about it. Sorry. I actually missed that donation. I had to look over. All right, so basically what happened is we came to China and we had a 2-week quarantine. The first week we were doing fine in scrims. I mean, everyone memes about scrim results, right? But playing well in scrims does translate to stage for the most part. You generally will hear about the exceptions. Also, there's a ton of misinformation when it comes to things. Um, Hold on, let me just do one at a time. Yeah, so there's a lot of misinformation about who's doing well and who's doing poorly in scrims, especially since the info comes out at random times and teams can do well in scrims and then do badly in scrims like at different times. So like for example, there might have been a rumor that like TSM was doing well in scrims. That started in the first week of our entire bootcamp. But then we were just getting completely shit on for the rest of it. So I mean, we were doing well in scrims against good teams, like really good teams. I don't want to like name drop, but you know, think of like the top teams at Worlds. We're doing pretty well in scrims against them, at least splitting games. And the first week was going well, and then after that, part of it is due to like the inability to have like a really productive review when we're all separated and we're not actually in the same physical location, and syncing up was like extremely hard on the replays and just syncing up in general on the review. But I think overall our team mood took a big like downswing, and it never really recovered because we started playing badly and playing poorly, losing trust in each other made us play even worse. And then for basically the entire boot camp, the entire like world's experience after the first week, we probably had like a 10% win rate in scrims. Like I was grateful to win a single game per day. So I pretty much knew that our team it was gonna be really fucking hard for us to win. We were just getting outplayed in a lot of the scrims, and we were losing a lot of the fundamentals. A lot of the games were over either at level one or in the first like 5 minutes. People just on the team started ruining practice by coin flipping and just playing really stupidly, I guess, trying to make leads happen because we're just consistently getting behind. So like the mental like you need some discipline to on stay like focused on the team, stay focused on the goals. We lost all of our team play, we lost all of our macro. The only way that we would get ahead is if the coin flips worked. And so our overall play would just ended up going really poorly. We were not on the same page. Sometimes people wanted to play aggressive, sometimes people wanted to play safe, and it just ended up on our team that like the only way that we would really win a scrim is, yeah, like I said, if a few coin flips went the right way early game and the enemy team just started running it down, kind of like out of tilt. I don't think that we won games like super cleanly at that point. We weren't winning many games at all, but I could tell that individually our team was playing worse, just like position by position. And on top of that, our team play was just getting worse and worse because, like I said, the lack of trust. We never really got back on the same page. And yeah, I mean, there are a lot of reasons. I don't really want to go into too many details about it, but that's the gist of it. Basically, we just were getting completely shit on. I remember we went 0-3, right, and the only way that we could like make it out of the group is if we went 3-3. So we had to sweep the next match day, winning all of our games, and we only had a few days in between. So the first round of groups we go 0-3, and then we have like 2 or 3 days to practice, and then we play those 3 games in a row. Um, Basically, in those 3 days, I told the team like we have to take practice seriously. We the thing that's gonna start this all off, like getting our trust back, getting our like level of play back to a high level, is like we got so much worse throughout the boot camp. The only way that we're going to win this next games is if we revert back to how we were playing in playoffs, which was we weren't taking dumb fights. We played aggressively when we should. We played slowly when we should. And on top of that, we were actually winning scrims, right? Like practicing well is a super important part of being a good team. If you're wasting the practice time or if you're losing every game, you're probably not going to play well on stage. That's just that's just how things work in my head. And then everyone agreed. We're like, okay, let's do this, and we go into the next 2 days. We lose every game in scrims, so like we're just getting shit on. So yeah, I mean, it's just I didn't have the most confidence. I knew that I never felt like individually I was like I guess I never felt individually that like we were getting super shit on or super outclassed. It just came down to like it's a team game. Like you can't carry a game completely by yourself anymore. And we needed to stamp out that mindset really fast. But I think part of going to Worlds was like you're playing against these new players that are supposedly really good, and you want to flex on them. Like I've seen this so many times on teams that I've been on. Like you need to carry. Like you have to like assert dominance. Oh my god, I'm laning versus I don't know. I'm laning versus Jackie Like I have to show him that I'm the shit. Like I have to show him I'm super good. You lose sight of like the team game. And this happens. This happened to us pretty hard. Like I would say throughout the boot camp, where people were losing sight of the team game, and I wish we had snapped out of it, but we just never really did. So yeah, I mean, Worlds is kind of a miserable experience overall, I gotta say. But like thinking about it in hindsight, we just didn't. We just lacked like the experience. We lacked the maturity. We lacked the preparation and probably the leadership, which is why Soren wants to be coach. Because you know, if you are an objective outside person and you are seeing these things, like you can actually fix them. I'm sure that Soren feels like he could have strongly influenced it if he was not playing, you know, and stressing out about his play, stressing out about like his matchups, his jungle mid 2v2s, all these things. If he could have fully focused on just like the team's holistic like success, he could have done a lot more. And I think I can vibe with that. It makes sense. So yeah, I mean that was pretty much my experience. It was not a good time. Now looking back on it, like it's really painful. And then I think about one thing I think about is just like, is any team actually happy how they ended at Worlds, except for the team that won? So I think about like, man, I'm fucking sad because we didn't make it out of groups. We got memed on. Is anyone actually happy though? Like, is Fnatic happy? Is Reckless happy that he got swept by top esports? Is G2 happy that they got crushed by Damwon? Like, is really any team happy except for the team that wins? Or is everyone just completely miserable after Worlds? And I think after talking to a lot of people, I think the answer is everyone is completely miserable. Yeah, sure. Of course. I'm the jar opener for Lena. Wow, it's fucking hard actually. Wow. This is insanely hard to open, no? What the